Well, this was something that came to us very early when we found out that Saskatoon Pride, I guess their dates were going to be coinciding with the festival dates. And so we had a meeting with some of the Pride organizers very early on, and my first inclination was to panic. But after we started to talk it through, more from a logistical standpoint, not from a partnership standpoint, but after we started to talk it through, we started to actually see that we had a collective vision, not only on the space that we were going to be utilizing, because the festival was moving our main free stage from Friendship Park over to Kiwanis Park North. That was already something that is a massive thing to do, is to move a free stage that attracts roughly 50,000 people. So that, in conjunction with partnering them with Pride and us both utilizing the same space, certainly caused a little bit of panic at the beginning. But after the panic subsided and we started to see a collective vision of what the space would look like, we really started to talk about the impact of our partnership and how the festival, as being a space and that's inclusive to everyone within our community, that's the same sort of philosophy that Pride has as well. And so we thought, here's a real great opportunity of our two organizations working together, not only on programming, but sharing the space, sharing some marketing and promotional opportunities, and let's make a big day of it. And they've done an absolutely fantastic job with Saskatoon Pride.
Oh, extreme close-up, wow!
We're doing some shows at the very beginning, and then really they're going to take over the park. And you know, we had to kind of vet the whole day of how it was going to work, because we've got our audience and they've got their audience, and we thought, what's the best way to make sure that everybody feels great in this space and that the two festivals are partnering together. We don't want either of us to lose our identities, but they can also come together to make something really great, and that's where this opportunity came from. So really it's a way of celebrating Pride within the Jazz Festival, just that collaborative partnership opportunity of showcasing our two events and really making them one for that day.
How we doing, everybody? Oh, look at that. Skies clear up. We're drying off, and the party is just gonna keep on going. All right, how we doing, Saskatoon? Happy Pride from all of us at the Saskatoon Pride Festival.
Happy Pride, Saskatoon!
This was an idea that I've been nagging at Jazz Fest for a couple years, and I just kind of put the idea in their head, and we just every year just saying, hey, like whenever you're ready, we're ready. And this year really made sense, celebrating our 25th anniversary, trying to bring both communities together, both organizations, both memberships, expanding both of our networks and saying, hey, we're one community, let's come together, really taking a moment to say, hey, how do we still do what we need to do? And how do you get what you want out of it and put this kind of together? So we worked out this really great arrangement, and it's the first time, so we'll see how it goes. But it's been really, really great, and I think people have been really receptive to the idea.
Pride, I think, means I feel like Pride is like the one time where you can actually go out and express yourself and wear whatever you want with pretty much the whole city, and they're doing the exact same thing, and you don't really get second looked at, you don't get judged, you fit in. It's like home in a way, and you meet all these beautiful souls. It's a celebration for who you are. That's what Pride is.
I said, are you gonna be my girl?
I've always been into music. It's always been sort of like the center of my universe. Ever since I was a small kid, just anything with music, anything with dancing, anything that I could pick up and play, it made me feel like I was at home, even when I didn't feel like I had a home.
Well, it's funny, I was just talking about this today, I've never been to a New York Pride or an LA Pride, even though I've lived in both those places. I was always in the other when the one had Pride, so most of my Pride experiences have been playing shows. And to me, it's like the most fun I've ever had playing a gig. Like, it's the most excited, inclusive crowd, and it feels like, everyone's rallying for something together instead of just like cool people in a club. Like, being cool.
'Cause you made me feel like I just might not ever have to listen to a breakup song. Driving around, crying alone, trying to forget you to a breakup song. That we should go on and on and on and on and on and on, yeah, yeah. On and on and on and on and on and on, yeah, yeah. The first time I touched you was an electric shock. You took over my body, I knew I wasn't gonna walk. When I breathe through air, all of your heaven sent.
Yeah, it's hard to say. My journey through figuring out who I was and who I loved was always, I was lucky to be able to really follow that, and the places that I lived and the communities that I was a part of were very warm and welcoming to that. So I think that just knowing that there are people everywhere that do understand, and it's easy to get isolated in your own life and think that the people around you are the way that the whole world is, and it's just not true. There's people everywhere that understand and love you and will want to be your friend and support what you do, and to just following your happiness is the only reason to live. You can't waste time.
It was my first girlfriend when I wrote this. The whole concept is just the I can't help it thing, and when you have your first kind of, at least in my experience, my first gay experience was this thing where it's well, I don't really know what's happening, but I'm just not gonna fight it. I can't do anything about it. I'm just gonna run with it. And run with it I did.
I think that people associate Pride and any kind of rights movement, any type of revolutionary thing where people are getting together and fighting for something. I think that music has always been something that brings people together and that we can all share. And a lot of the great jazz musicians of the past, they had this interesting amount of LGBT people back in the day that were closeted and not able to come out, and the jazz and music has allowed people an outlet and a therapy forever. And the same thing with people that feel isolated or that nobody understands them. Music is something that can really bring understanding anywhere by just playing it in your headphones. So I think that it's a very natural marriage, music and Pride.
Thank you for being here, and bless you. Bless you, bless you, bless you. Look at this, the first time I ever saw, what's the crazy birds that land here in the summertime? Pterodactyls or something, right? It's swans or... Well, bless you, thanks for having us, and listen, happy Pride, happy jazz, happy everything, happy summer. We wait a long time for this to happen, when it finally does, it's we're stunned by it. We spend all of July going, is this really happening to us? Could this really be, is this a blessing just for us? And look at this blue sky with a bit of cloud, and you got that big castle over there where the Queen used to live when she used to live here, grew up as a kid. We all know that was a beautiful time. Oh, we remember those days like they were yesterday, and they were beautiful. So thank you again.
You're not the only one who feels like that now. And maybe anger is your only choice, or maybe heart resistance you ran for might be a better way.
Oxy Workman, we were looking at different artists and things like that, we said, you know, because it is a collaboration, we also need to make sure that there's somebody that their crowd also really wants to see, but also has a queer connection as well, right? And so I think he brings a lot of persona to the stage. And I think for me, it's like, you know, he's an artist, and he's a queer artist, and he's unapologetic in his music, and he just kind of puts it all out there and lets everybody soak it in, and it doesn't matter. And I think that message alone lends so well to who we are as a queer community, and what we stand for is that you need to be unafraid and unapologetic as to about who you are, and put yourself out there every day. And sometimes you might get knocked back down, but it's how we get back up and how we push forward and put that message out there every day.
We're living in modernity, I say. It's the 21st century, and I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to be here with you, sharing it. Here we are on the internet together, except for real, you know what I mean? Bless you.
The Jazz Festival is a community event. Everyone is invited. So, you know, we want to make sure that people are able to participate and to feel safe and appreciated, and we want them to be comfortable, and we want kids to be running around, and we want grandparents to be running around and having a good time, because you know, we all work hard, and everybody's got bills to pay, and you have festivals in a city like Saskatoon, which celebrates festivals. It's an opportunity to just go out and have some fun, because we're all really busy, and we've all got our own pressure. And here's an opportunity of saying, you know what, I can just go out and have a good time and enjoy life and enjoy the city, and downtown's going to be buzzing, and there's going to be great people all over the place. And so come out and celebrate the city and 2 great festivals.
Happy Pride! Woo! It's super diverse here. It's just everyone I meet is different. Everyone comes from different walks of life, and to meet that many people, being, you know, from the States, I wouldn't expect, you know, like, oh, I'm going out to like the prairie of Canada. I'm like, it's such a, there's no other word but diverse group of people here. So it's really exciting to see. And the parade today was awesome. Like, people coming out with families, and everyone just being so involved and inclusive. It's really a special place.
Even from last year, from 66 entries in our parade to 119 entries in the parade, from, you know, a couple thousand in the parade to now over 6,000 in the parade, plus over 2,000 people in the streets. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. I've had the most emotional experience today, being just a citizen and a community member in this city. And so when you see how people are getting engaged, and people are just, they're being vocal about their support, finally, as opposed to just saying, oh, well, my friend's gay. It's so different now. It's so different now, because the youth need that voice. They need that hand up to say, get out of here, come with us, like, let's go to do this together, right? And it's about empowering our youth and seeing the amount of people just on the streets. Like, I was not expecting that at all, and it was just beautiful. I'm so proud of Saskatoon, the Saskatoon of 2017.
If you have program ideas that you'd like to see on maxTV Local On Demand, write us at max.local@sasktel.com.